Stephen from Albuquerque, New Mexico. It seems like Mormonism moves with the times, but sits back about 10 or 15 years. Any thoughts on this? Yeah. I mean, if we look at polygamy, they abolished it, of course, but it took a long process. The manifesto was 1890. It was a long time before they finally got rid of it, probably about a 15-year period before they finally put to step. Blacks in the priesthood. I mean, Stanford refused to play BYU in basketball because of the LDS's stance on that ridiculous thing. And that was in the 60s, and it wasn't until 76 or 78. 78 that they actually changed it. So they wait. They wait till it gets opportunistic, and so it doesn't look like they've caved into pressure, so it appears like a real revelation came to change it. Their hair, their dress, their music, all of that is kind of, you go to their stake dances, they're still playing ABBA and Journey right now. And so they're about 15 years behind on that, but they catch up. And what are they catching up with? The world. They are definitely catching up with the world. Let me give you a really quick thing while more calls are being cleared. If you look at the architecture of Mormonism, it's an amazing parallel to where they are in their minds. Joseph Smith was a shaman. He went out into the woods and he received revelation and came back. And so their architecture was very shaman-like. They were mobile. They were poor. They didn't have much. Well, Brigham Young comes in, and Brigham Young is like a master magical guy. He believes in all these things. He's seen spirits. So what's the first thing they really build that's true? You look at the Salt Lake Temple, and you look at the handcraftedness of this magical period. And that magical period lasted in Mormonism from about the time Brigham Young did it all the way till about David O. McKay. Now, LDS people who are watching, they know David O. McKay was the last prophet, and that guy was kind of a trip. He used to wear all white suits. You know, that's just so trippy. And he was just a different kind of man that was still in the magical age of Mormonism. Well, from that point forward, the Mormon church became very clerical. And so these guys started donning their business suits, and they started becoming the prophet became more of a president than a prophet, and it became an institution. And so you look at the buildings, everything started to become institutionalized and cookie cutter, like a McDonald's. I mean, they all look the same, and they all started feeding the same thing. At that point in time, the steeple, which was once connected to the buildings, the chapels, and what it symbolized was revelation from heaven to the chapel, to the leadership there, it became removed from the building, and now it sticks out there like a phallic symbol in the middle of the lawn. And the reason for that is it's saying we are removing this local power of you to receive revelation for the congregation. That is no longer tied to your church. It now comes from Salt Lake City, the corporate headquarters, the flagship. Well, in the last phase that we're in right now, it's more of an open arms thing. And you start to see the temple. The San Diego temple has windows. You're on the freeway, you can actually see in the thing and back out of it because it has windows and it's open arm. Their architecture reflects the phase that they're in. And almost every large religious institution goes through these things. The Catholics did. Guess what the final phase is? Erosion. They can't maintain. Shows like this, truth comes out, and they can't maintain it. And so it will begin to crumble, and they will loosen up their standards. And so that's when Christianity, again, will dominate and snatch those people and bring them to the truth. So we're just fighting something now, and we're helping it along, and God will do his work, and he's in charge, and Mormonism will fall.